in 8 blocks or something like that, or maybe 3 miles.
Or some people, the building they live in.
And that's nothing. And so I greatly appreciate your testimony. I think it's something that I grew up in a rural environment. I know what you're talking about. And it's something that I think we all need to take into consideration a little closer than what we've done.
Sir.
Richard Skaggs, resident, or I should say part resident there in Neenack. I grew up in Palos Verdes in the San Pedro area, and I wanted to get away from the city and get out where I have neighbors maybe a mile away, half a mile away, and I moved there in '02, and I still live over by the ocean, but my wife loves the ocean, I love the desert. And what I'm concerned about is the land use. We want to make sure the land use is properly used. If we start changing zones, things like that, and then later on decide, oh, we want to build a building because they were able to get that zone change, what we are looking at is if they have an R2 or an A2 or whatever, it would go back to the same that it was, and the land would go back, and we have our community back. So far, I think the lack of communication is the biggest problem. As far as the contractors and developers coming in, we're all for it. In fact, we're the only town council that in their bylaws and what we put together here is that they're allowed to join our town council. So we work together as a group to make sure the community can work together, because they have a stake in that too. I mean, they're building something for everybody. I mean, and we appreciate that. We just want to make sure the residents are involved. And if they're going to build buildings and we're going to get the emissions, then they're entitled to some jobs if they qualify. And right now, myself, we're working with some contractors, and they're donating some panels so we can train the folks there. I donated 10 acres that they can come over and learn how to do this, because they need to qualify for these jobs. There's going to be a lot of jobs, and a lot of folks there in that area need jobs. And I think this is going to be good for the community, and I support it, but I'm speaking for myself. As a town council, we have people both ways, and you're going to find that no matter where you're at. And I really appreciate you giving me the time to come here, and I thank the developers for allowing us to speak with them. And I brought in regional town council in our area so that you know. And of course, we have phone numbers, and we'll pass that on. And I thank you.
Great. If you'll provide that then to Mr. Thurtell. Okay. Any comments, questions? I thank all of you for coming, particularly